Marc Cucurella has officially agreed personal terms with Manchester City. This is a bit of a breakthrough we've been waiting for a couple of days now, because it seemed to be a bit of a game of tug-of-war between Manchester City and Brighton as to how much each club would give and take for this player. That is still not agreed. The clubs have not come to an agreement as to what price is suitable for Marc Cucurella. City offered an initial £30 million, which Brighton clearly felt was a massive low ball, possibly a bit insulted, considering that's less than what we got for Zinchenko. And Brighton probably be saying Cucurella's a slightly better player than Zinchenko. He's younger. He's got a bigger future ahead of him, possibly. Why would we sell him to you for less than what you got for Alexander Zinchenko? It was a bit cheeky from City, but I can understand why we made that bid. Now, obviously, it seems, as per Fabrizio Romano, that Marc Cucurella really wants to come to Manchester City, and this comes as no surprise to me. If Manchester City come calling right now, you don't say no. It's simple as that. You don't say no. You want to make it happen. There's no other club in the world right now with better chances to win trophies, better chances to build your own profile, play Champions League guaranteed every single season right now. You can see why this guy isn't happy. Fabrizio Romano gave a bit of a report on this today. The first thing, like I said, was that they've agreed personal terms, and the second one is what I'm kind of alluding to when I say that Cucurella himself is not happy. Clearly, Cucurella is not happy with the fact that Brighton won't budge on their supposed £50 million. They want somewhere between £50 and £60 million. I'm hearing 50, and Cucurella is not happy with that, because it seems as if City are a bit reluctant to go that high. The report says Marc Cucurella is not happy and really wants to move to Man City this summer. The player joined Brighton dreaming of a top English club one day, and when Pep Guardiola called him, he only wanted to move to Manchester City. This seems also similar to Calvin Phillips. Didn't Calvin Phillips do a similar thing? He said, I wouldn't have gone anywhere other than Manchester City. So it sounds like Cucurella is more than keen. He really wants to come. He sees his future at Manchester City. We'll talk about his long-term future in a second, but he sees his short-term future anyway. The next step, Manchester City, but Brighton are being the cog in the machine that isn't working with us right now. They're making our life a bit difficult, and I don't know how far Manchester City will be willing to go to pay for this player. What do you think?
I think they have every right to demand the high enough fee for him, because he's a fantastic player. Again, we've talked about him in the other videos. We know how good he is. I think City made the slight mistake of maybe selling Zinchenko before putting in a bid, before getting into actual talks. I think that'd be a huge, we know you need a left back now. You're going to have to pay the big bucks. But again, I can see a happy median in between, because I think we've every right to negotiate down. We've got every right to negotiate this down. We're not going to end up paying 50 million. Let's be fairly honest. We're not going to pay 50 million for a player from Brighton. We know their stance, but I think we can niggle it down a little bit to it. But I'd be really happy if he came in. I think he's a great replacement. I think he offers a whole new way of playing as well. He offers plenty of new styles that can come in. He's effectively a wide midfielder playing left back.
I think with the Zinchenko thing, it was more of us doing a favour for Zinchenko than it was a decision for the club. It wasn't so much to better us. It was just to give him what he deserved. Like we said in our video previously about Zinchenko, the guy deserves game time. He deserves to play every week. He deserves the opportunity to be a key player in someone's squad. He just wasn't going to get it with us. So the club had to kind of sell him when that opportunity came along, good and proper. And there was a decent fee of what it was, a 35 odd million or something like that for Zinchenko. And now we've obviously made it clear to the world that we want a left back. We've made it clear to the world we want Cucurella. And naturally, when any club gets word that Manchester City want a specific player, they're going to bump up their premium. This club, they're going to go Manchester City with loads of money. They're desperate for a new player. We'll put a hefty price tag on it. And if they don't pay it, we'll hold on to our good player. Brighton have all the bargaining power in this situation. He's still got a lengthy contract at the club. They don't have to sell this guy, but it's quite clear that he wants to come. Now, the word is, of course, also by Fabrizio Romano that Brighton had a pre-season friendly, or are due to have them today or tomorrow against Brentford, and Cucurella is not included in that squad. The word is that the player wants to join Manchester City this summer. His dream is to work with Pep Guardiola. This is what we need, and it was similar with Riyad Mahrez back in 2018, 2019. We needed the player to kick up a fuss. We need Cucurella to put Brighton under pressure and say, listen, I love this club. I appreciate what you've done for me, but it's time for me to take the next step. I'd really appreciate it if you take a slightly lower fee than what you're saying right now. And I don't think Brighton are expecting 50 million. I think it's a case of City were low-balling to see how low they could start. Brighton are high-balling to see how high they could start. And they will come to meet in the middle, hopefully, at some point. But you just don't know. Like I said, they've got that lengthy contract with Cucurella. They don't have to sell the guy. I think there's at least 3 years left in this deal. They're under no rush to sell him at all. But he needs to kick up a fuss. We need Cucurella to probably hand an official transfer request sometime soon if he wants to get the thing moving soon. An official transfer request would really help that. And we need Brighton to be open to negotiation. I think 50 million is probably a bit too much for him. I think he's a very good player, but I don't think 50 million is the price tag that I'd be particularly happy with. Now, I know the market is very inflated nowadays, and there's loads of players going for prices that they aren't worth. And I understand that that's today's market. But if we're being real with ourselves, a lot of these players aren't worth what they're going for. And I don't feel Marc Cucurella is worth 50 million, Rebel.
I think in the sense of Brighton being one of their best players, he was there. I think it was his fan vote player of the season. He's been a stalwart in there. You know, he really suits the style of play. They love playing that three with basically a wide midfielder playing as a wing back. He suits them perfectly down to the ground. He's a Spanish international, like you said, 3 or 4 years left in his contract. To the club, to Brighton, he probably is worth 50 million. But City going out to... would we say he's a squad player? Would we say he's a starter? You know what I mean? That's why it's kind of like, is he worth 50 million to City? No. Is he worth 50 million to Brighton? Yes. And if that's what they're quoting and they're refusing to move on it, then City are either going to have to pay it or they're going to have to leave it and go for something like Sosa. But I'd be honest, I haven't heard of Borna Sosa until last week, so I wouldn't really be too hot on him coming in. I'd rather, if we're going to replace Zinchenko and knock it down the Wilson Esbrand and Ake row, go for someone who's Premier League proven like Cucurella. Go for someone where, look, if you have to pay the money, pay the money. If you don't want them, don't take them. I think that's Brighton's stance, and I think it's going to be either the stance that City have to respect. Unless they can get them down to 40 million, I don't think they can, to be honest with you.
When I said I don't think he's worth 50 million, I understand that.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean.
And people will say he's only worth what the club believe he's worth. And I get that. That's what it was with Jack Grealish. Aston Villa believed he's worth 100 million. We had to pay 100 million. It's simple as that. I'm not saying that City shouldn't spend this money. I'm just saying I don't think it's the correct fee. But listen, if it was completely up to me, it's not my money. I'd go and give them their 50 million right now and say, give us the player. That would be that. But that's not the way we operate. I know we've splashed a fair bit of cash this summer, but we're still in quite a good net spend position. I think we're something like 232 million in a plus or something like that. I saw the statistics this morning, and we're doing a pretty good job financially. But like I said, if it was my money, I'd go out and spend it. I give them their 50 million, take the player, and be done with it. But we've splashed our cash. We've flexed our muscles this summer. And it's not really in our nature. This summer was a bit of a freak summer so far in the way we go about our business. We don't usually just go out and pay what clubs want for players, multiple times in one summer. We usually bargain or we do what are called release clauses, and that's not going to be the case with Cucurella. Are we going to go out once more this summer and just give the club what they want for this player? I don't know. It's interesting. Clearly, Cucurella really wants it. Pep really wants it. City really want it. We just need Brighton to budge their stance a little bit, or else just pay what they want. It's going to be an interesting one. But clearly, they've agreed personal terms. Cucurella's happy with what City have offered him. City are happy with what they've offered Cucurella. And I think if City can just give them what they want, or they can agree a fee, we could have this player by this time next week, even earlier. We could have a here we go or an official announcement very, very soon. Personal terms with the player are usually the toughest to get done. We saw that with Erling Haaland. They're usually the hardest thing to do, and City have completed that already with Cucurella. So get it done with Brighton, and he'll be our player. Get down below in the comments as well if you would. Let us know your thoughts on this whole saga, if you want to call it a Cucurella saga. I don't know. Also, make sure to hit the subscribe button. At the time of recording, we're less than 40 subscribers away from our goal for the summer of 3,000 subs. How amazing would that be to hit 3,000? We'd love your support. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, get down below, start some conversation in the comments, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new video. Good night and God bless.